Hi guys, Miss Ross here. I want to talk briefly to my baby daddies out there. And I want to call you out because it is necessary. I have seen too many of you blame your baby's mothers for why you are not actively involved in your children's lives. And a lot of you know Miss Ross. And you know what? I do not cut black men any slack because I am a type of woman that I do not tolerate, accept, or deal with excuses. So I am going to explain to you guys why I call bullshit on your excuse as to why you are not in your child's life. There is absolutely no excuse for why you are not in your child's life. I don't care if your baby's mother is fighting you to the death to prevent you from seeing your children. If those children are yours, and if you can prove to the courts that they are yours, she cannot stop you from seeing your children. Now, let me explain to you why a lot of you don't fight your baby's moms to see your children and why you don't take her to court. Because you really don't want to be in your kid's life. You don't want to be responsible of being in your children's lives on a daily basis. See, a lot of you are just comfortable with being part-time dads. You like the idea of being able to just see your children when it is convenient for you. But to have the responsibilities placed on you to where you are going to be held and obligated to that responsibility, see, that is what you really don't want. And rather than you saying that, you rather use your baby's mom as an excuse when there really isn't no excuse. Like I said before, I don't care what your baby's mom is doing. I don't care what she's telling people. Why aren't you down at the courthouse filing a claim against your baby's mom? Why aren't you in the courts petitioning the courts for visitation of your children? What's your excuse for why you are not doing what you need to be doing to see your children? Why aren't you fighting for your kids? You know, the real reason and explanation behind that is because a lot of you baby daddies are selfish and you don't have a real, true, unconditional love for your children. Okay, the type of love that you have for your children is simply a generic love. It's the same type of love that you might have for your homeboy or that you might have, you know, for a girl that you may be sleeping with, but you're not in love with her. See, that's the difference. You're not in love with your children. You simply just love them because you know that they are your children. And you know that because some of you, your children look like you. Some of you have had DNA tests done where the child is genetically yours. But you're not in love with your children. And see, that's the difference between a mother and a father. See, mothers are in love with their children. And this is why we go the extra mile. This is why we fight for our children. See, the difference between a baby's daddy and a baby's mom is that we're both bitter, okay? You guys say that baby's mothers are so bitter and, they're this, they're that. But in all reality, so are you. See, the difference between baby's moms and baby's fathers is that a baby's mom is so in love with her child that she used that bitterness to fight you. She is not going to allow you to keep her from her children. She is not going to allow your part-time fathering to cause your children any hurt. See, a lot of you guys don't understand that as a mother, it is our responsibility and our obligation to protect our children's hearts. So while you are over there saying the mother don't want you to see your child, it's not that she doesn't want you to see your child. Most mothers want their fathers in the children's lives. It's that she understands the mental state of disaster that you're causing her child. She understands that you are not helping the child. So when you're in and out of your children's life and you're not consistent in that child's life, it does something to that child that you don't see because, see, you popped up only for 30 minutes, 15 minutes, or 10 minutes. But when you leave, that mom has to deal with that child's tears. That mom has to answer the questions as to why daddy doesn't stay around. That mom has to answer the questions as to why daddy doesn't want us to be at his house. And why daddy doesn't come around when he says he's going to come around? Why doesn't daddy do what he says he's going to do? So it is at that very moment when this mom witnesses the pain and the agony and the disappointment and how your absence and your inconsistency is affecting her child, even to the point where their grades are slipping. You know, they're not being as sociable as they were. They are falling in a state of depression because you are not in love with them, because you love yourself more than you love what you made. So then this is why that mother says you cannot see him anymore, or you can't see her anymore. It's not because she doesn't want you to. It's because you're not consistent in that child's life. You are doing more damage to that child when you pop in and out of that child's life than the damage that is being done when you don't show up at all. See, the situation is like this, and it works all across the board for all of us. Out of sight, out of mind. See, when a child forgets about his father, he's okay. Because see, mom is there consistently. You know, mom is assuring the child that everything is going to be okay. Mom is at his practices. You know, mom is at the daughter's cheerleading practices. Mom is there. Mom goes to the breakfasts at school. Mom attends the PTA meetings. Mom gets involved in the child's life. But because you feel like you don't live there, you're not obligated to do the same thing. It doesn't matter where you are. I know a lot of fathers who don't even call the children on a daily basis. It takes nothing for you to call your child. It doesn't matter who you're calling your child from, whoever phone you need to use. You know, and what amazes me is that some of you dads who are deadbeats have the audacity to ask your homeboy to let you use his phone so that you can go call a jug, or so that you can call the weed man to see if he got anything for you. But yet you would not ask your homeboy to let you use the phone to call your children. Not only that, you have a phone. So what is your reasoning for why you don't call your children? And this is another thing. I can understand how some mothers are so disgusted with you. They're tired. They're tired of your bullshit. They're tired of you lying to their children. They're tired of you not fighting for your children, but yet you run around town and tell everybody how you love your children. And even if you get the opportunity to speak with your child for 1 minute, you use that to make yourself feel good and to make you feel like you are a father. And that's only so that you can sleep at night, because it's doing nothing for the child. As a matter of fact, you've now put the child in a worse state of mind than he or she was before you even made the call. You know why? Because now you have built up this child's hope that you are going to be in their life, and then they don't hear from you anymore. So this is where the mom has to step in and say, you're not going to see my child anymore because you're not helping the situation. I'd rather you not even be in my child's life.